Imagine a tableau frozen in time, a scene that speaks volumes without a single word. A solemn line of grieving families, their faces etched with an unimaginable sorrow that words can, well, barely capture.
Yeah, it's a powerful image to start with.
Each person clutches a photograph, a vivid, smiling portrait of a cherished loved one, a child, a parent, a sibling, now gone.
And right behind them.
Right. Behind them, stark and chilling, stand the mangled, shattered remains of what was once just an ordinary, bustling 7-Eleven convenience store.
Not anymore. It's become something else entirely.
Exactly. It's no longer a place of everyday commerce. It's a monument to sudden, horrific destruction, a testament to profound human loss.
Yeah.
This isn't just an image from a news report. It's a window into the raw, devastating reality of grief.
And that deeply resonant image, as you so powerfully described, is precisely where we embark on our deep dive today. Our exploration draws from compelling excerpts from a moving account titled, A Cambodian Rocket Shadow, A Family's Loss and Quest for Justice. Our mission is to navigate beyond the cold headlines and the impersonal statistics, really immersing ourselves in the deeply personal narratives that underpin a tragic incident.
Getting to the human story behind it all.
Precisely. This event unfolded on July 24th, 2025, in the Kantharalak District of Thailand's Sisaket Province.
Right.
We're going to meticulously trace the quiet, ordinary moments that preceded the attack, and then delve into the devastating, enduring impact it had on those left behind.
Yeah, the ripple effects.
Exactly. The source makes it painfully clear. Each life lost was an individual, irreplaceable human story, not merely a number in a conflict's tally.
Important to remember.
Absolutely. And just for context, these border clashes between Thailand and Cambodia, they have a complex history.
They do, rooted in long-standing territorial disputes, especially around the Dengrek Mountains.
Right. And unfortunately, they've seen periodic escalations. These flare-ups, they create unpredictable and often lethal dangers for civilian populations.
Turning everyday life into something really precarious.
Yeah, exactly. A precarious existence.
So let's delve into this heartbreaking account, starting with what began as an utterly routine day-a-day that, in a terrifying flash, transformed into an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, the source paints such a vivid picture of that normalcy.
It really does. On that fateful day, July 24, 2025, schools in the area had announced an early dismissal.
Seems so simple, doesn't it?
So mundane. Just another typical school day ending a bit early. But for Khomsan and Rungrut, a married couple at the heart of this narrative, the seemingly innocent announcement set them on a path that would lead to unimaginable, irreversible sorrow.
They just did what parents do.
Exactly. They drove out to pick up their children from school. They had 2 kids of their own. Their 14-year-old daughter, known as Pakbung.
14.
And their 9-year-old son, a 3rd grader named Freekick.
And there was another child too, right?
Yes, their family circle was a bit wider that day. Relatives had asked them to also collect C Games, another 9-year-old student from the same school.
So 3 kids in the car.
Picture it. A family plus 1 extra young charge, all heading home, maybe chatting about school, maybe planning dinner.
This is normal life.
The ordinary hum of life, completely unaware of the looming shadow.
One particularly striking aspect here is precisely that seemingly innocuous detail of early dismissal and parents collecting their children.
It's so relatable.
It constructs such a vivid, deeply relatable image of a routine, everyday scenario, a universal experience for families everywhere, really. And it underscores, with chilling clarity, just how swiftly and utterly normalcy can be fractured by forces completely beyond individual control.
It's terrifyingly fragile.
It really is. A powerful illustration of the inherent fragility of life in zones touched by conflict.
And then there's this detail about Khomsan.
Yes, another crucial detail the source highlights is the almost prescient, yet tragically insufficient preparation Khomsan made.
What did he do?
After gathering the children, he instinctively pulled into a PTT gas station.
Okay.
Why? To fill up the tank. Now, this wasn't just a casual decision like, oh, I need gas. No. It was a deliberate act. It was driven by his anticipation of potential evacuations.
Ah, so he was already thinking about the border situation.
Exactly. There was an underlying awareness of the escalating border clashes between Thailand and Cambodia, a tension palpable in the air, It was informing his everyday choices.
So there was this undercurrent of concern, an acknowledgement that things could escalate, maybe leading to evacuation.
Yes, that awareness was there.
But what makes the situation particularly poignant and tragically misleading is that the family's specific area, it hadn't actually been designated a red zone.
Right, that's key.
The prevailing local perception was that it was relatively far from the border, creating this profound and heartbreakingly false sense of security.
Which is so dangerous.
It makes you ponder how communities, particularly those living on the periphery of active conflict zones, how they navigate and interpret risk.
Yeah, how do you gauge that?
How do you, as a resident, reconcile official advisories that might signal some degree of safety with your lived experience of that underlying tension?
It's a constant balancing act, I imagine.
What are the subtle, often unspoken patterns in how these gray zones contribute to civilian vulnerability, turning what should be a minor precaution, like filling the tank,
into a catastrophic miscalculation? Yes.
Khomsan was trying to be prepared, but preparation against an abstract threat is vastly different from facing an immediate, unforeseen horror.
Indeed, the source reveals the agonizing dichotomy there. Trying to prepare for an unknown future while just living your life in the present. This situation makes us consider the psychological landscape of life in such an environment where a generalized sense of danger coexists with specific assurances of safety.
Right, like, it probably won't happen here.
Exactly. Locals might develop a certain resilience, maybe even a normalization of threat, making it harder to discern truly imminent peril from the background hum of geopolitical tension.
You just get used to it, maybe.
Possibly. Khomsan's act of filling the tank was a practical response to a possibility, not a direct alert. It shows a community trying to function, to maintain routine, even as the shadow of conflict looms.
And it's this very attempt at normalcy that, in hindsight, becomes so heartbreakingly vulnerable.
Precisely.
What makes this narrative truly devastating, amplifying the gut-wrenching reality of that day, is what transpired next.
Yeah, the moments inside the store.
While Khomsan attended to the car, Rungrut took the 3 children, Pakbung, Freekick, and Sea Games inside the 7-Eleven store at the gas station.
Just a quick stop?
Just a quick stop for snacks, something so utterly mundane, so universally familiar to any of us, a moment of casual convenience.
Indistinguishable from thousands of similar moments happening everywhere.
Exactly. But this fleeting moment inside the store would become their crucial final moments together.
And then the phone call.
Yes. While inside, Rungrut made a phone call, a simple, everyday act that now carries an unbearable weight of finality.
Who did she call?
She called her mother, just letting her know they were at the 7-Eleven and would be home shortly.
Oh, that phrase, would be home shortly.
It resonates with such profound, tragic irony. You can almost hear the casual, loving tone in her voice, utterly unaware of the impending doom that was mere seconds away.
Just
chilling. It's a detail that immediately brings an immense sense of tangible, irreversible loss right to the forefront.
That final everyday phone call, a mother reassuring her own mother that they'd be home soon, is profoundly poignant.
It really is.
It's the very essence of ordinary life, connection, and the assumption of a future, no matter how near. It speaks to the quiet domestic rhythm that underpins so many lives.
Yeah.
This detail illustrates in the most stark and devastating way how conflict can abruptly and violently intrude upon the most mundane and innocent moments of civilian existence, completely without warning.
No time to react?
None. There's no grand announcement, no time for escape, no chance to prepare. What the source describes next is the immediate, almost visceral impact of the blast.
What does it say?
It tells us that as soon as the call ended, a deafening explosion rang out.
As soon as it ended. Wow.
The immediacy is chilling, a stark punctuation mark on the end of a life.
Wow.
And then the horrifying ripple effect. Locals quickly spread the word that a bomb had struck the 7-Eleven.
Oh, God. Imagine Rungrut's mother.
Exactly. Still perhaps holding her phone, the echo of her daughter's voice barely faded when the news reaches her.
She must have known instantly.
The source says she collapsed in shock, understanding instantly that that was the last time she ever heard her daughter's voice.
Unbearable.
It wasn't just an explosion, it was the severing of a lifeline, a final, unrecoverable moment. The source implies the sheer shock and disbelief that would have swept through the community.
Yeah.
As a familiar landmark, a place of safety and convenience became a scene of unimaginable horror.
And the husband, Khomsan, waiting just outside in the car. His experience is truly beyond imagination.
Right there.
Yeah.
Meters away.
He was right there, just meters away, perhaps mentally charting the route home, maybe half listening to a song, completely oblivious to the unspeakable horror unfolding inside that very store. So how does the source portray the devastating impact this had on him, the sole survivor of his immediate family?
The account states it starkly and powerfully. Khomsan, waiting there, endured the worst nightmare of his life.
The worst nightmare.
The pain is distilled into a single devastating sentence. None of them came out alive.
Oh, God. His wife, both kids.
Gone in a single deafening second. He lost both his wife and both his children, all gone.
And as if that weren't enough?
Exactly. The pain was intensified, deepened to an almost unbearable degree when officials shared a detail that is just gut-wrenching, searing.
What was it?
They found his wife, Rungrut, in death, still tightly embracing their youngest child, Freekick.
Oh, no. Holding him.
Yes, that image, a mother's final instinctual protective act, even in the face of oblivion. It's a profound testament to love and loss.
It really is. It's a detail that profoundly shapes our understanding of the human cost here.
This image of Rungrut embracing Freekick in death is, as you articulated, incredibly powerful and heartbreaking.
It's just devastating.
It speaks to a primal, protective love, a bond so deep it transcends even the moment of sudden, overwhelming destruction. It's a searing testament to the enduring human capacity for love, even as life is brutally extinguished.
Yeah.
This particular detail prompts us to consider the profound, almost unbearable trauma for those left behind when loved ones are gone in such a complete and sudden manner.
How do you even go on?
Exactly. And we are given a direct, unvarnished glimpse into Khomsan's raw grief, which is essential for grasping the true human cost.
Does the source quote him?
Yes, he is quoted, articulating his shattered world. We were inseparable. We went everywhere together, almost like one life.
Like one life.
But in just 1 second, they were all gone. Not a single one left for me. Now I'm all alone.
Completely alone.
And then he has this plea. Please take care of the kids over there.
Wow. Talking to them wherever they are.
The implications of this quote are immense, revealing the immediate and absolute shattering of a family unit, a life that was once whole, vibrant.
Reduced to absolute solitude.
Yes. His struggle with profound isolation is palpable, a heavy cloak of loneliness that has descended upon him. And that final plea, please take care of the kids over there, it's an almost spiritual cry to his lost loved ones.
A desperate hope.
A desperate hope that they are at peace, somehow together in a realm beyond his reach. It's a visceral expression of a love that defies even death, interwoven with an overwhelming sense of abandonment and despair.
It's a profound exploration of what it means to be left behind, utterly alone, in the wake of such indiscriminate violence.
Absolutely.
The tragedy at the 7-Eleven, devastating as it was for Khomsan's family, was not an isolated incident in its human toll.
No, the blast radius of grief was wider.
The sources bring to light other individual stories, each equally devastating, each a stark testament to the indiscriminate, brutal nature of such attacks. Let's turn our attention to the story of Pink Sawtree.
Okay.
Pink was an 18-year-old employee at that very 7-Eleven.
18. So young.
Just think about that age, the very cusp of adulthood. She had just graduated high school, her entire life stretching out before her, brimming with possibilities.
Just starting out.
And she had only been working at that 7-Eleven for 2 months.
2 months.
Wow, just 2 months into her adult working life, taking her first independent steps, and it was tragically, senselessly cut short.
The source highlights the cruel irony there, doesn't it? A young life full of nascent dreams ended before it truly began.
Yeah.
What's particularly striking about Pink's story is how, while distinct, it powerfully converges with the other narratives of loss. Yet it stands alone in its poignant depiction of blossoming independence brutally interrupted. It underscores the profound vulnerability of young people simply trying to embark on their lives.
Building a future.
Exactly. Trying to build a future, contribute to their families and communities. The source also provides a deeply moving detail about her family background, adding another layer to the tragedy.
What's that?
Pink was the eldest of 3 siblings.
The eldest.
After her parents separated, she and her siblings were raised by their grandparents.
Ah, so the grandparents raised them.
Yes. This background reveals a family structure already marked by challenge, where Pink, as the eldest, likely carried responsibilities beyond her years.
Her new job was probably a big step for the family.
Very likely. A step toward supporting those she loved. Her grandmother, who had lovingly raised her since childhood, is quoted,
Oh, I can only imagine her grief.
articulating an almost unbearable grief that transcends mere sorrow. She says, "She was just a kid who knew nothing about any of this.
Just a kid.
The pain is stuck in my chest. I can't speak. I haven't slept a single night since my granddaughter died.
Oh, that's heart-wrenching. Stuck in her chest. No sleep.
This visceral expression of grief truly drives home the multi-generational impact of such a loss, particularly on a grandparent who has poured their life into nurturing a child.
Only to see that life extinguished so senselessly.
Exactly, and prematurely. It's not just about mourning a death, it's about a profound injustice, an unfillable void that goes to the very core of their being.
Yeah.
It forces us to confront the idea of innocence lost, of futures denied, and the ripple effect of such profound trauma through generations of a family.
Such a heavy toll. Our sources also introduce us to the story of Rungrut, a 60-year-old woman.
Okay.
Her day began with a tender, loving family moment, a heartwarming scene that stands in stark, painful contrast to its horrific end.
What happened?
What makes Rungrut's story particularly poignant and tragically close to the horror is the unexpected proximity of her work to the initial blast site.
How close was she?
Well, that morning she had visited her daughter to wish her a happy birthday.
Oh, a birthday wish. That's lovely.
Just imagine that scene. A mother's gentle embrace, a whispered wish for happiness, a shared moment of familial warmth.
Yeah.
After giving her daughter heartfelt birthday wishes, a seemingly ordinary start to her day, she then drove off to work in a rubber plantation.
Okay, a rubber plantation.
And this is the critical detail. That rubber plantation was located directly behind the 7-Eleven store.
Right behind it. Oh my goodness.
She was so incredibly close, literally just on the other side of that building that would soon be reduced to rubble.
The source underscores the chilling irony of being so near, yet so tragically beyond reach. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This narrative thread in Rungrut's story is saturated with a cruel twist of fate. A beautiful, loving birthday wish exchanged just hours before tragedy struck so devastatingly close.
It really highlights the fragility, doesn't it?
It powerfully illustrates the profound fragility of life in zones touched by conflict, demonstrating how easily daily routines, even those steeped in love and celebration, can become utterly precarious.
Regardless of any perceived safety.
Exactly. Regardless of perceived safety or distance from the immediate line of fire. The sources then detail the daughter's desperate search for her mother after hearing the news.
Oh, the daughter heard about the blast.
Yes. A sequence of events that is particularly heart-wrenching. When the daughter heard the horrifying news that a rocket had hit the 7-Eleven, her immediate frantic instinct was to rush to the plantation.
Hoping she was okay.
Hoping against hope to find her mother safe. But tragically, she received a phone call on the way.
Oh, no.
A call that delivered the crushing news that her mother had died.
On the way there.
Yes. The source provides an incredibly vivid and horrific visual detail from the daughter's account, which truly drives home the brutal reality of the blast's impact.
What did she say?
She said, "My mother worked until the last second of her life. She was still holding her gardening tools.
Just holding her tools.
I can't forget the image of her body torn beyond recognition by the blast."
Oh, that's horrific. Torn beyond recognition.
That specific detail, the gardening tools still clutched in her hand, a symbol of her dedication and livelihood, juxtaposed with the unimaginable, devastating state of her body.
It brings an almost unbearable level of visceral grief.
It does, and trauma to the listener.
Mm-hmm.
It is a powerful, chilling testament to the indiscriminate violence she endured while simply going about her day.
Performing a loving act, then doing her job.
Exactly. It speaks to the utter randomness and senselessness of these attacks, striking down lives engaged in the most ordinary of tasks.
Our deep dive also brings us to Somsri, a man whose life was dedicated to his community's safety.
Okay.
And whose life was tragically taken in a subsequent attack, powerfully highlighting the ongoing, persistent nature of the danger in this region.
So this wasn't part of the 7-Eleven blast itself?
No, that's the key point. So what does Somsri's story tell us about the enduring threat communities face in these border areas?
Right.
Somsri was 59 years old, and driven by deep concern for his community, he volunteered as a village watchman during the conflict.
A volunteer watchman, putting himself out there.
Yes. This wasn't a one-off event. This wasn't simply the 7-Eleven attack. The sources tell us that on July 27,
3 days later.
exactly, just 3 days after the initial tragedy at the convenience store, more Cambodian artillery shells struck homes in Kantharalak again.
So the danger hadn't passed.
Not at all. It was during this renewed assault, the second wave of devastation, that Somsri died at the scene, offering his service until his last breath.
Oh, man. While trying to help.
And his fellow volunteer was also injured, a testament to the shared peril. This profoundly emphasizes that for communities residing in these border areas, the threat isn't a singular, isolated event that passes.
No, it lingers.
It's a persistent, unpredictable shadow, an ever-present peril hanging over their daily lives, demanding constant vigilance and sacrifice.
One aspect that truly resonates in Somsri's story is his selfless commitment to his community's safety.
Yeah.
A dedication that, with profound irony, ultimately cost him his life. This narrative compels us to reflect on the often unseen heroes and silent victims of conflict.
The ones who step up.
Those individuals who, by stepping forward to protect others and ensure some semblance of order and security for their neighbors, inadvertently put themselves directly in harm's way. His death occurred on a separate day, 3 days after the 7/11 bombing, a detail that critically reinforces the idea that the threat was not a singular contained event,
The ongoing.
but an ongoing, unpredictable peril that lingered and struck again. The source, by detailing this, profoundly illustrates the enduring and insidious nature of conflict in border regions.
It's not just one big event, then quiet.
Not at all. It demonstrates how these conflicts don't merely manifest as headline-grabbing, isolated incidents, but rather as a continuous, pervasive danger that impacts the daily lives of those who live there.
Especially people like Somsri.
Particularly those like Somsri, who embody the spirit of communal protection. It serves as a stark reminder that the trauma and danger don't end with one blast. They linger, capable of striking again at any moment.
Creating this constant state of apprehension.
And loss. This raises an important question for us to consider. What is the true psychological and social toll on communities that live under such a relentless, unpredictable threat?
Where acts of selflessness can so easily lead to tragedy.
Exactly.
We've walked through these incredibly personal stories of loss, each one a universe of grief, a profound testament to shattered lives. But the source makes it unequivocally clear that these individual tragedies transcend their private pain, becoming a collective symbol, a powerful, urgent call to action on a global stage.
They're making their grief public, visible.
Let's explore this powerful imagery and the profound message it conveys to the world. We return to that initial indelible image we started with, the grieving families.
Standing there.
Standing with heartbreaking defiance, holding up portraits of their loved ones, all arrayed before the stark ruins of the destroyed 7/11.
It's an unforgettable image.
This powerful, stark image, the source tells us, has become a symbol of loss caused by conflict.
Yeah.
It's no longer merely a private grief confined to individual homes. It's a public testament, a universal emblem of the devastating, indiscriminate cost of conflict, visible for all the world to see and reckon with.
It transforms personal sorrow into a public plea. It really does.
Yeah.
What's particularly profound here is the deliberate, conscious act of memorialization and public appeal.
It feels very intentional.
It is. These families are not simply grieving in private, cloistered away in their sorrow, allowing their pain to remain unseen. Instead, they are actively standing,
Seeking justice.
seeking justice, and demanding accountability under the watchful eyes of diplomats and the international press.
Which is significant, the international presence.
Absolutely. This powerful visual strategy underscores the vital role of international observers and media in amplifying the voices of victims who might otherwise be unheard.
Lost in the noise.
Easily lost in the cacophony of geopolitical machinations and abstract conflict reports. This connection to a broader audience is crucial. If we connect this to the bigger picture, it underscores a universal human desire for accountability, for recognition of suffering, and ultimately for an end to the violence that causes such profound suffering.
The source doesn't just present this imagery, it includes a direct, emphatic plea from these families, a powerful articulation of their core demand.
What do they say?
The whole world must know this truth. It is not possible to change the name of the person in the future.
Not possible to change the name. That's striking phrasing.
That final phrase, it is not possible to change the name of the person in the future, is profoundly meaningful, isn't it? It carries layers of historical and personal significance.
It does. What do you think it really means?
It feels like it's not just a statement of fact about identity. It's a fierce insistence on remembering these specific individuals, Khomsan's family, Pink, Rungrut, Somsright, not merely as nameless casualties.
Or abstract numbers in a report.
Exactly. Not just statistics. It's a demand that their unique identities, their lives, their stories, be permanently etched into the historical record.
Preventing them from being dehumanized, erased, or forgotten.
Yes. preventing them from being forgotten by future generations. It's a powerful assertion of their humanity and dignity in the face of indiscriminate violence.
So their quest for justice isn't just about punishment, maybe.
The source implies that. It seems their quest for justice isn't just about punishment for those responsible, but also about securing recognition for their suffering, preventing future atrocities.
And ensuring these lives serve as a lasting testament.
A lasting testament to the human cost of conflict.
The specifics of how this quest for justice might manifest, while not explicitly detailed in terms of, say, legal proceedings, can be inferred from the context of international observation and media presence. For these families, justice might encompass a spectrum of outcomes.
Like what?
It could mean an official acknowledgement of responsibility from the Cambodian side for the rocket attack, maybe a formal apology, or even a commitment to reparations for the victims.
Accountability on an official level.
It could also involve pressing for stricter international protocols regarding the targeting of civilian areas in border conflicts, ensuring such incidents are not repeated.
Trying to prevent it from happening again.
Exactly. However, the source also subtly hints at the significant barriers to achieving such justice.
It's not easy, is it?
No. The very nature of border disputes, often characterized by shifting allegiances and complex political dynamics, means that assigning clear accountability and enforcing consequences can be incredibly challenging.
Politics gets in the way.
Often, diplomatic efforts, while crucial for visibility, can be slow and fraught with political considerations that sometimes overshadow the immediate needs of victims.
And the media moves on.
The media, while amplifying voices, also moves on to the next story. So the ongoing nature of their public display is not just a sign of grief.
It's advocacy.
It's persistent advocacy against what must feel like overwhelming institutional inertia. This ongoing appeal, therefore, serves as both a memorial and a sustained form of protest.
A constant reminder.
A constant reminder to the world that these lives mattered. And their loss demands more than just sympathy. It demands action and systemic change.
So what does this all mean for the future and for the global community observing this profound tragedy?
Yeah, what's the ultimate hope here?
What is their ultimate hope communicated through this powerful, unwavering display of grief and resolve? The core message is undeniably clear. The families are hoping the world will see this tragedy and call for peace.
So no one else will have to suffer as they have.
Exactly. This isn't just about their personal unbearable loss. It's a plea for prevention, for an end to the brutal cycle of violence that characterizes so many border regions. The broader implication of such attacks on civilian targets in these ongoing border conflicts is immense and profound.
How so?
It fundamentally shifts the perception of conflict from abstract geopolitical tension, from lines drawn on a map or sterile diplomatic communiques,
To tangible, brutal, human destruction.
Yes. It forces us, the global community, to confront the stark reality that these conflicts manifest not just in military maneuvers or political posturing,
But in shattered homes.
in shattered homes, in innocent lives extinguished, and in the profound public grief of families standing before the ruins of a once ordinary 7-Eleven.
It's a rehumanization of conflict, demanding that we look beyond the statistics.
And truly see the faces behind the numbers.
We've taken a deep dive into the heart-wrenching human stories behind the Cambodian rocket attack, moving past the cold headlines to grasp the profound and specific losses felt by families like Khomsan's.
And individuals like Pink, Aranrat, and Samsri.
Yes. It's a stark, undeniable reminder of the indiscriminate nature of conflict and the devastating ripple effects that extend far beyond any intended military target.
Shattering the lives of those simply trying to live their everyday existence. And what we've truly seen here is how these intensely personal narratives, these individual cries of sorrow and demands for recognition, become a powerful collective voice.
A unified plea.
They are pleading for global awareness, for justice, and ultimately for a lasting peace on an international stage.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it profoundly challenges us to consider what it truly means to be a witness to such suffering.
It's more than just knowing facts.
It is. It's not just about acknowledging the facts. It's about internalizing the human cost, feeling the weight of these individual tragedies. This deep dive into these unique lives raises an important question for you, the listener, to carry forward.
Something to think about after we finish.
Exactly. In a world grappling with numerous conflicts, with so much information coming at us daily, what responsibility do we bear in remembering not just the events, the dates, or the statistics,
But the people.
but the unique, irreplaceable lives shattered by them? How do these individual stories, so vividly brought to life in our sources, compel us to truly work towards a world where such a deep dive into personal tragedy is no longer necessary?
That's the ultimate goal, isn't it?
It has to be. This thought of ensuring no one else has to suffer as these families have, of giving permanent voice to those silenced by violence, is something profound for you to mull over long after this deep dive concludes.